Well, happy Friday, all. Welcome to a special edition of Instructor Insights this second Friday of July. I see a few more people are starting to hop on. As everyone knows, we did not have an Instructor Insight last Friday due to the holiday week, the 4th of July holiday weekend. So I hope everyone had a wonderful and safe 4th of July weekend. And then it was back to work and back to the grind come Monday. So my name is Keith Zupek. I am an instructor for Wicklander, Zalowski and Associates. I'm actually proud and honored to say that last week I hit my 15-year anniversary with WZ. I can't believe it's been 15 years already, but it's been a wonderful journey. Seems like just yesterday I started and still have the same motivation 15 years ago as I do today. So very excited to be part of this great team. So today on Instructor Insights, I am going to talk to you about reasoning and logic when it comes to the investigative process. What are some of the things that we think about when it comes to reasoning and logic? We all use it every day in our world of conducting investigations and interviewing. But what's our thinking behind it? Why do we come to the decisions that we make inside of these investigations, and even more importantly, inside of how we approach the interviews that we conduct inside of these investigations? So that's what I'm gonna talk to you about today. In very basic terms, the definition of reasoning is the action of thinking about something in a logical, sensible way. Seems simple enough, seems easy, in a sensible way. But maybe for us in the investigative process, we might think of reasoning as the process of existing knowledge to draw conclusions, make predictions, or construct explanations. And so in this process, as we've all done it many times throughout the interviews and investigations we've conducted, let's talk about the three types of reasonings that we use in our preparation for our interviews or our investigations. And those three types of reasonings that I'm going to talk to you today about are abductive, inductive, and deductive reasonings. Three different types of reasonings that we use. Abductive reasoning, the first one, basically deals with guesswork. We think we know possible explanations based on very limited information. It again, as I just said, it's guesswork at best. It's forming a hypothesis. What is the likely explanation based on the limited information that I have? Maybe you are conducting a investigation internally, workplace misconduct. Maybe you're conducting a criminal investigation, and the complainant or victim in the case, they point you in the direction of an individual based solely on they believe that's the person that did it. There's zero evidence to say that they did, or very, very light, weak circumstantial information. That is abductive reasoning. We're believing this individual may have been involved in this misconduct or this criminal investigation, but we have no proof of it. And oftentimes our investigations start that way, by just forming this hypothesis on very, very limited information that we have. The second reasoning method that we consider is called inductive reasoning. And what is inductive reasoning? Inductive reasoning it deals with probability. It deals with data points, information that we have, that we've gathered in the investigation, that point us in a direction for that investigation. It's not certain. We don't have certainty, but it's pointing us in a direction based off some evidence, some data points that we have. This is where most of probably our investigations and interviews start. We have some information that points towards an individual, and we take the steps in the investigation or in preparation for our interview because we have some basic information here on some basic data points, but we're not certain. What would be an example of this? Maybe we have at a company, some product has gone missing out of a warehouse, and there's video that leads to where the product area is, but it doesn't show where the product was when the information was taken or removed. But you have video of 2 or 3 individuals walking in the warehouse to where the product was taken from. So you have some data indicating that one of these 2 or 3 individuals are the ones who possibly took the product from the warehouse, but you don't have certainty. You know that maybe they're working together, maybe one of them did it and the other 2 have no idea, but it's pointing you in a direction because of some evidence and some data you have, but you are definitely not certain in that area. So that is inductive reasoning. And again, that's probably where a good chunk of our investigations start. We have a little data, but we're not certain. And then our final reasoning point is deductive reasoning. Deductive is deals with certainty, brings up some certain truth values. Now, I think we can all agree that truths are very hard to come by, and certainty at 100% is very difficult to come by. But we have gathered information that kind of gives us, we're at a higher level than inductive, but, and again, we're never at 100% certain, but we're close. And what would be an example of that? I use the same example I just used. You have video that covers an area of an individual going in and removing product from the warehouse. He or she is the only individual on the video going into where the product was removed, and nobody else could have done it because they're the only ones on the video. So deductive reasoning tells you that that is probably the individual involved in that misconduct, theft, however, whatever investigation this is being run as. But here's the problem with that. When we talk about deductive reasoning, and this is, I just want to make sure that we all understand that, again, there's no 100% certain. Why? Because maybe the video that you looked at has the wrong date and time on it. Maybe the system is wrong and it's got the wrong date and time. Maybe the video's been manipulated. Maybe some form of AI has been involved with this video, which is obviously a great concern for those of us that conduct investigations. So we believe that this is our individual, but we're never 100% certain. So our 3 types we have there: abductive, hypothesis, guessing; inductive, we have some data points; and then deductive is we have some certain truth value. Having the ability to get close to 100%, but we're not all the way there. And in any investigation or interview preparation that we conduct, the goal is to blend all 3 of these. If we're interviewing that individual based on abductive reasoning, there is a strong possibility the individual may not be involved because we don't have data or evidence to show us that individual is. So we do our best to combine these 3 reasoning methods in any case that we work. We form a hypothesis. We look to see what kind of data we have collected in the inductive area. And then at the end, does it push, in the inductive area, and then ultimately does it push us towards deductive reasoning, the final version that we come up with based on the information that we have gathered. So again, the goal, how do we use all 3 of these? We think about these reasoning methods prior to an interview, prior to an investigation. We think about how can these reasoning methods help me to determine maybe the type of interview I'm going to conduct. Will it be a cognitive interview? Will it be a fact-gathering interview? We think about it towards the fact of maybe what type of empathy statements are we going to use based on the information that we've gathered, based on the information that we know about this individual or this case. So we think about the reasoning behind these investigations to prepare us as we go into these interviews. So we use these reasoning methods to help set us up. But as I stated with abductive reasoning, we talk about formulating a hypothesis based on very limited information. And we do that on a regular basis. The concern here is that sometimes our hypothesis information is inaccurate. So we have to be cautious when we talk about hypothesis. Remember, the first bits of information that you receive in an investigation is oftentimes flawed. It is, and not by nefarious reasons, it's just not accurate information that you've received. So sometimes as investigators, we start going down the wrong path based on our wrong hypothesis. And that's okay, in the fact that we have to be able to be agile and know that we have to flex our investigation based on additional information that comes along. I like to say, don't put the horse blinders on and only go down one path based off that initial hypothesis. As you gather evidence, data points in inductive reasoning, that may change. So never put yourself in a situation where you run full force based solely on your initial hypothesis when the evidence that you're gathering throughout this investigation shows you that you are not on the right path. So be flexible, be open-minded, keep the horse blinders off when you are working off your initial hypothesis. I hope everyone, again, has had a wonderful first week back after the holiday. We thank you. I thank you for joining us in this Instructor Insights, and we will see everybody next the first Friday of August, only a few weeks from now at 9 a.m. Central Time, the first Friday of August. Take care and have a wonderful day.